Antony has spoken out. I know, right? Antony has come out and given an explosive, a shocking interview, which of course we as fans did not expect at all. But wo aaya और उसने वो interview दिया, and of course he would have gotten the permission from Manchester United, the football club, to go on onto a public platform and speak for himself. He was pretty emotional, काफी ज़्यादा he was teared up, and ऐसा दुख झलक रहा था, at least in his voice. See, I'm taking no sides, I'm not going anywhere and stuff. But उसकी body language, उसके बोलने का तरीका, his voice, everything was suggesting that he considers himself extremely absolutely, absolutely not guilty. And there's a lot to cover in this interview, as I said. And he went out to talk to the media, but he did not take many names. He did not, disclose a lot of information because the investigation is still pending. But it was also important, according to Antony, कि वो अपनी साइड पेश करे, बिकॉज मीडिया अभी सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक ही साइड की तरफ चक्की घुमाई जा रही थी. More accusations incoming. Manchester United का winger, right winger Antony now could kya, he has actually been accused by two more women who have come out and supported Gabriela, if that's the first one's name, supporting her sort of cause or whatever you can say, and not saying that by supporting her, but also coming out and telling and accusing Antony of their own problems, of from their own reasons, because of their own reasons. So I mean, it could have smelled trouble, but one thing Antony did, he came out and he gave that interview. So what was said in the interview? Obviously, as I said, usko Manchester United se permission mili hogi. That's why he's come out and spoken, because we know, you can't do all of these things because the club have to be on top of it, have to be involved in such a sensitive matter. So agar aap kuch bhi unke against karoge, they could take any action. So both the player and the club are at risk here, because you know what, you treat Manchester United as a business. तुम business standpoint से ही देखो, दो हैं, एक तो winger है, वो इतना बढ़िया हमारे लिए, and a very pivotal part of the team. Secondly, he has cost us 100 million. कोई ट्रांसफर फी नहीं मिलने वाली हमें उसकी, उसके जाने से हमें कोई पैसे, हमने इंश्योरेंस नहीं करवाया एंटनी का, हमें कुछ नहीं होने वाला, वो 100 मिलियन वेस्ट हो जाएंगे. दैट्स प्रीटी इंपॉर्टेंट. 100 मिलियन बाय द वे, 850 करोड़ के करीब, 850 करोड़ के करीब. सो वो ध्यान रख लेना. That's how much money we could lose if things go wrong here. And so what was said in the interview? It was done in Portuguese. Obviously, we have had the transcription, and I'll try to, nichodo as much as truthful information for all of you. So let's jump onto it. Uska clear stance tha. He had one clear stance, which was, I did not hurt her. One of the main key points, one of the points which people are saying ki probably that is why they are believing Antony to be fair and not to be bluffing or doing anything else, is because of the fact that they believe that he's ready to admit the fact that yes, there were altercations, but none of them were physical. जो भी रहा, it nothing was physical, everything was verbal, everything was filled with gussa, but कभी physicality में बात ही नहीं आई. So he has gone out and absolutely defended himself. उसने कहा जो भी उसकी ex girlfriend and the other two women, they are not telling the truth. He has never been he has never been physical with a woman in terms of hitting and stuff. And उसके बाद उसने कहा कि he has a mother, he has a sister, and he cannot even dream. He cannot even think about doing anything like that. So that's that. Apart from that, if I'm able to read correctly from the screen here, the interview, he went into the interview and did say out that he did feel very bad. He felt very bad for actually getting left out of the Brazilian squad, because he felt कि वो एक इस चीज की वजह से हुआ जो ट्रू है ही नहीं, जो सच है ही नहीं, and he had to face consequences of something that was absolutely untrue, absolutely false. So obviously, the reporter, which was I think it was a female reporter if I'm not wrong, and she obviously pointed out the fact कि उसे डर नहीं लग रहा. Obviously Mason Greenwood का हुआ, and we've seen Mason Greenwood के साथ क्या रहा, and उसका पूरा एक केस चला 1 साल 1.5 साल तक, and करेंगे, and then basically वो पब्लिक ओपिनियन पे छोड़ दिया था मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड ने. लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट, उन्होंने एक मिनी स्टेटमेंट निकाला था कि we have concluded and हमारे पास डिसीजन आ चुका है, हम आपको बता देंगे. that was basically a mini yes to test the sentiment, and वो हो गया. But then there was such a backlash, such a huge backlash. So उसके कारण they actually took back their step, and yeah, they took back their step and they had to obviously suspend or whatever that Greenwood cannot be here, वो नहीं खेल पाएगा. But तभी भी उन्होंने उसे बेचा नहीं, कुछ नहीं हुआ, उसका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट टर्मिनेट नहीं किया, उसे लोन डील पे बेच रहे हैं गेटाफे. एंड बाय द वे ऑफ आई डोंट नो, फन फैक्ट कह लो, आई थिंक एक स्टैट पढ़ रहा था या मैं एक न्यूज, आई डोंट नो इफ इट्स फॉल्स और व्हाटएवर, बट 48 आवर्स हो गए थे जब ग्रीनवुड को आए हुए, एंड जब भी अनाउंस किए हुए उसकी शर्ट्स आए हुए, तो I think he was one of the top in the history of Getafe, in the history of the club of Getafe, कि उसकी सबसे ज्यादा शर्ट्स पिक की है, मतलब one of the, कह रहे थे कि वो बन सकता है, तो I would assume वो one of the की लिस्ट में तो आ ही गया है. So that's how high his popularity is in Getafe already. And many of the Man United fans are trying to buy and trying to pump up, and इतने सारे फैंस देख लिए मैंने, अब तो Getafe के मैच देखने पड़ेंगे because Greenwood को देखना है. बट एनीवेज, सो ग्रीनवुड का ये सब सारा सीन चल रहा है. सो इसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए ऑब्वियसली द रिपोर्टर वेंट आउट एंड सेड कि फिर दिमाग में ये नहीं आ रहा, डोंट यू थिंक, hasn't thought sort of cut across your mind that you could be now suspended from Manchester United as well. Just think of Brazil से हुआ, मैं, it was pretty painful, and I मतलब obviously did not go attacking the Brazilian Football Federation because of course उसे वापस खेलना है. He is one who really likes that national team वाला वो, and he's not one, you know, कि early retirement ले लो और ये और लड़ाई करने लग जाओ, no. So he, मतलब उसके उसमें भी again body language में दिखता है, he's very proud of representing his country. He does that. उसने कहा कि आपका बचपन से सपना होता है that आप फुटबॉल खेलने लगते हो, and of course मेरी कंट्री में जब फुटबॉल इतना क्रेजी लेवल पर है, you know, dreaming of wearing that yellow, green jersey, blue, जो भी जब भी जो हर साल चेंज होती है वो jersey is such a dream, and seeing the icons that wore it and then getting the chance to wear it, but then it being taken from you because of something which is completely untrue was very sad. But the thought has never come across his mind कि उसके यूनाइटेड के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में कुछ होने वाला है, because he said, and I quote, the club are on top of the investigation, unquote. Club are on top of the investigation. उसने कहा कि क्लब एकदम 1000% अपना ड्यू डिलिजेंस कर रहा है. The club have not left any stone unturned, and the club are absolutely on it to, you know, get the facts straight, to get the facts right, to see if Antony's side is actually pretty not guilty. So yeah, मतलब इसके हिसाब से he has just completely bamboozled any sort of, you know, accusations or whatever. He has said that he's absolutely not guilty and he wants to play for Brazil, for Manchester United. He also, and I really appreciate the sentiment. उसने कहा कि फैंस ओपिनियन अभी irrelevant है. फैंस का ओपिनियन कुछ ओपिनियन से अभी चाहिए चलेगा ही नहीं कुछ, क्योंकि द फोकस शुड बी ऑन गेटिंग टू द बॉटम लाइन ऑफ द ट्रूथ. जब आप ट्रूथ पे आओगे, ओपिनियंस फैक्ट्स में नहीं चलते. फैक्ट्स आर फैक्ट्स, ओपिनियंस आर ओपिनियंस. तो फैक्ट पे जब तक तुम चलोगे देखो, तब तक ओपिनियन अभी तो कुछ मैटर नहीं करता. एंड इवन ही हैज सेड दैट. एंड आई वाज रीडिंग अ ट्वीट, एंड उसमें एंटनी का एक कोट हुआ था कि ये जो थ्रोइंग, मोबाइल थ्रोइंग, चीजें थ्रोइंग का ऐसे भी बहुत चल रहा था. सो इट बेसिकली सेड कि देयर वाज अ पॉइंट व्हेन दे वर फाइटिंग, एंड जो उनकी एक्स गर्लफ्रेंड थी, द वन हु इज अक्यूज्ड, द फर्स्ट अक्यूजर ऑफ एंटनी, तो उन्होंने कहा कि शी वाज थ्रोइंग आउट थिंग्स, द क्रॉकरीज, दिस, मतलब उसके घर में, एंड प्लेट कप वगैरह आगे पीछे फेंक रही थी. एंड देन ही हेल्ड हर but did not hurt her. He held her in an order to try to sort of calm her down. कि अरे भाई चुप हो जा time. So I mean that's the most I sort of could get into, you know, मतलब अच्छा physical. But I mean, of course, you know, you can't blindly trust कि अच्छा ये screen पे ऐसा है. A lot of things on screen can change to what they were in reality. I absolutely agree to that. But that's what I'm saying. कि you sort of get that feeling कि, you know, a body language of a person, मतलब it does tell you a story or two. So I do think I mean, yeah, मतलब ठीक है, you can never comment on this, but yeah, fair enough. And exactly, like ऐसे कोई डरने और explosive होने की बात नहीं है, because obviously there would, see, if in any chance in this world club की permission नहीं होगी इस interview के लिए, which I don't think is possible, but अगर नहीं होगी, then it's trouble, then it is deep trouble, and we'll get to know it sooner rather than later. But club की permission थी मेरे हिसाब से 99.9%, so this shouldn't be much of a problem. This maybe helps clarify his stance, because he did come out on Twitter a few days ago, but तब से that इसके खिलाफ अटैक होते. If he comes out like this, so maybe it helps him out as well. But you know, some commentators have really suggested that this move could backfire on Antony if, And obviously, it's not just this move. The whole scenario would backfire on Antony if an evidence sort of comes out, a bunch of evidence comes out that he's वो उसने ये स्टोरी बोली बट ये ऐड अप नहीं हो रही, ये नहीं हो रहा, तो थोड़ा सा फॉल्सिफाइंग और वो सब हुआ. बट या, बट ओवर एंड ऑल it's just bullshitting everywhere as a Manchester United fan. आप यहाँ पे जाओ बुलशिट हो रहा है, वहां पे जाओ बुलशिट हो रहा है, यहाँ पे जाओ बुलशिट हो रहा है, सैंचो का पंगा चल रहा है, ग्रीनवुड का भी पंगा क्या ही सॉल्व करें, बट जो भी करके कुछ ना कुछ तो हुआ. एंड एंटनी का आ रहा है, हमारे प्लेयर्स ढंग से नहीं परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, स्कॉट मैकटोमिने गोल मार रहा है स्कॉटलैंड के लिए to sum things up. And that is, people would say that's a good thing, but I consider the fact कि जब मैकटोमिने मारता है ट्विटर पे लोग पागल हो जाते हैं, because he scores for Scotland in a position that he, first of all, he scores for Scotland. Number two, he scores in a position that he can never play for United, and number two, he scores against a team that is blah. He's not going to play aggressive midfield, attacking midfield, cam at United, right? So he can score 10 goals from there. It doesn't really matter. The good thing though is कि हॉयलून और मैकटोमिने जो दोनों लीडर्स हैं, हॉयलून का अगर हम ज्यादा फोकस करें कि wow, he's a top scorer in the Euro qualifiers as well, which is obviously great. And I don't know, I have not watched much of Denmark in the qualifiers at least, but ऐसे तो पता नहीं मुझे, but penalties पता नहीं ले रहा है नहीं ले रहा है, क्या सीन है उसका, so that's to be seen as well. But yeah, so I mean इसके अलावा there's no such update on Sancho and Eric Ten Hag wala beef, but hopefully it does get sorted out. I was reading an article and you know what, and Lindelof, by the way, Lindelof has come out and said, I have a contract at Man United, so I can say I was not even close to leaving United. I love United. I have a contract here, and I'm ready to help out the team whenever possible. And yeah, he said कि Sancho कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना when it comes to Manchester United, and that got me thinking. And then I also read an article, I can't remember from where, कि a lot of the media has actually picked it up on the fact that it's Sancho versus Ten Hag. While you cannot just skip that fact, it in some extent is, but it also could be because of the fact कि जब Ten Hag ने बोला कि मतलब उसका ट्रेनिंग से बेहतर कुछ लोगों ने ट्रेनिंग की थी एंड अभी मैंने उसे सिलेक्ट नहीं किया, उसको बहुत ज्यादा वाइडली ले गए ये मीडिया रिपोर्ट्स. So then he has actually come out and said, don't believe everything that is being written by media outlets on the response of Ten Hag. तो Ten Hag की बोली पे जो मीडिया आउटलेट्स ने लिखा उस पर विश्वास मत करो, ऐसा सैंचो ने कहा है अपने स्टेटमेंट में. सब विश्वास, मैंने अच्छा खेला, मेरे हिसाब से मैंने अच्छा खेला, एंड मुझे स्केपबोर्ड बनाया जा रहा है. नाउ इट कुड आल्सो मीन मुझे स्केपबोर्ड बनाया जा रहा है, नॉट नेसेसरली जस्ट बाय द मैनेजर, but scapegoat बनाया जा रहा है in the media, in the press, in the whole sort of club scenario dynamics, etc. and the fan base and stuff. उसके बाद उसने ये भी बोला है, so grateful हूँ मैं अच्छे teammates and I'll do whatever it's possible club के लिए. So हाँ, it was nice to see, to get a breath of fresh air कि maybe इस तरीके से भी देखा जा सकता है. But yeah, man, it'll be important to see how that rolls on. But more importantly, Antony वाला case, hopefully things get sorted out. Hopefully all things gloom doom ना हो. जो दो accusations आई है, let's see what happens there, because अगर वो दो और ज्यादा fair निकली और दो दबता गया, I don't know man, ये बेंजामिन मेंडी के केस की तरफ ना शिफ्ट हो जाए, which would obviously be bad for him. So yeah, troubled days, troublesome. We're soon gonna come up with a video, maybe tomorrow morning, afternoon, which I've been working on that video. I've been thinking, I've been making notes कि मेरे हिसाब से best XI and क्यों क्या है मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड की, considering everyone is fit, and क्या है. And I just don't tell the XI, I actually go on and tell the top 16. So XI पे ज्यादा importance रहेगा, but then top 5 substitutions, because subs 5 कर सकते हैं अब हम. So top 5 subs, and of course I'm removing the keeper for now, which will obviously be Altay Baindar. So yeah, with that we come to the end of this video. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. Do let us know your thoughts about the Antony saga, the whole Antony situation. When you do that, also don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the goddamn channel, because again, when you like the video, it sends out the message to YouTube that, hey, these guys are balling. So, let's promote their videos, and it'll always be great to, enlarge and sort of just elongate this community. With that being said, thank you so much yet again. Keep supporting United as hard as it is, and take care of yourselves. GGMU. I'll speak to you guys in a bit.